Silence feels heavy when you know you're lying to yourself, not to the world, to yourself. You don't feel tired, you feel exposed. There's a difference. Burnout is exhaustion after effort. What you're experiencing is resistance before effort. That tension in your chest, that isn't fatigue, it's confrontation. Because deep down, you already calculated what would happen if you actually tried. And that possibility scares you more than failure ever could. You say you're drained, but you scroll for hours. You say you're overwhelmed, but you respond instantly to distractions. You say you're exhausted, but you stay awake feeding your comfort addictions. That's not burnout. That's avoidance wearing a respectable mask. Burnout happens after war. You haven't stepped onto the battlefield yet. You don't fear losing. You fear discovering how dangerous you could become. Because once you see it, there's no hiding from it again. Potential is not inspiring. It's threatening. It removes excuses. It demands evolution. And evolution hurts. Notice something. When real pressure hits, you perform. Deadline tomorrow, suddenly focused. Emergency, suddenly capable. Someone doubts you, suddenly energized. Interesting. So energy isn't the issue. Urgency unlocks you. But when there's no external pressure, you fold. Why? Because no one is forcing you to confront your ceiling. Your ceiling is exactly where your comfort lives. You're not tired. You're undisciplined with your power. That's harsher than saying I'm burned out. But it's true. Burnout is honest. Avoidance is strategic self-sabotage, and you've mastered it. You consume productivity content. You organize your notes. You plan future versions of yourself. You visualize dominance. But when execution time arrives, you negotiate. I'll start tomorrow. Just one more day. I need the right mood. Mood? You think warriors check their mood? You think killers of mediocrity wait for inspiration? No, they move without permission from emotion. You are addicted to preparation, because preparation feels productive. It gives you dopamine without risk. Execution threatens identity. If you try at full capacity and fall short, now what? Now the fantasy version of you dies. And that's what you're protecting. The fantasy, not your future. There's a version of you that already knows this. That version speaks when you're alone. Late night. No music. No noise. Just you. It whispers. You know you're playing small. That whisper is unbearable. So you drown it with content, noise, entertainment, busy work. But it always returns. Because potential doesn't disappear. It rots. When it rots, it becomes regret. You don't fear hard work. You fear commitment to a standard that exposes your current weakness. Because once you commit seriously, you can't hide behind, I didn't really try. That excuse protects your ego. It keeps you comfortable in a mediocrity. You get to say, I could have been great. Instead of risking, I tried and wasn't. That's the real fear. Not exhaustion. Exposure. Anime characters don't break because they're tired. They break when they realize they've been holding back. Transformation never begins with comfort. It begins with disgust. Disgust at limitation. Disgust at hesitation. Disgust at wasted ability. You haven't reached disgust yet. You're still negotiating. Let me tell you something cold. You are not overwhelmed. You are under challenge. Your mind is decaying from lack of intensity. You crave stimulation because you refuse expansion. So your brain seeks artificial battles. Arguments online. Debates. Gaming. Drama. Anything that feels like movement. But none of it builds you. Because real growth requires friction with your own limits. And you avoid that friction daily. You say you need rest. Rest from what? Inconsistent effort? Half commitment? Mental overthinking? That's not depletion. That's stagnation. And stagnation feels heavy. Not because you're tired. Because you're stuck. And being stuck while knowing you could be dangerous. That tension eats at you. Here's the brutal truth. You don't want relief. You want reassurance. You want someone to confirm, yeah, you're just burned out, so you can keep avoiding. But I won't give you that comfort. You're not burned out. You're undisciplined with your focus, scared of your own ceiling. If you actually committed for 90 days, no excuses, no emotional negotiations, no disappearing when it gets uncomfortable. You wouldn't recognize yourself. And that's exactly why you hesitate. Because comfort dies in that process. Your identity shifts. Your standards rise. Your circle changes. Your distractions lose power. And suddenly, there's no going back. This isn't about motivation. It's about confrontation. You versus the version of you that keeps escaping pressure. And right now, that weaker version keeps winning. Not because it's stronger, because it's familiar. You feel heavy because you're carrying unused power. That weight isn't fatigue. It's potential screaming. And every day you ignore it, the scream gets louder. You already know this. That's why the thumbnail hit you. You know it, because you do. You know you're capable of more. You know you're coasting. You know your standards drop. You know your discipline slipped. You know you're tolerating less than your ability. And that awareness is uncomfortable. Good. It should be. This is where the shift begins. Not with hype, not with inspiration, with irritation, with the refusal to keep lying to yourself. You don't hate pain, you hate uncertainty. Pain is predictable. Growth is not. Comfort is dangerous because it feels logical. It whispers, you deserve a break. You've been stressed. Tomorrow will be better. Comfort never sounds weak. It sounds reasonable. That's why it wins. Here's the psychological trap. Your brain is designed to conserve energy. It doesn't care about your legacy. It cares about survival. And in modern life, survival requires almost nothing. Food is easy. Entertainment is endless. Validation is instant. So your brain thinks, why evolve? There's no tiger chasing you. No war at your door. Just mild discomfort when you think about your potential. A mild discomfort is easy to ignore. You know what's harder to ignore? Embarrassment. Rejection. Failure. That's what growth risks. So instead of risking visible failure, you choose invisible stagnation. No one criticizes you for not trying. No one laughs at almost. No one attacks, I'm figuring things out. Safe. Safe is slow death. Most dangerous people in this world. They don't negotiate with comfort. They don't wait to feel aligned. They execute while misaligned. They move while uncertain. They build while doubting themselves. You wait for clarity. Clarity comes from action, not before it. Let's get more precise. You avoid your potential because potential creates responsibility. If you admit you could be elite, now you're accountable for not being it. That's pressure. So it's easier to downplay yourself. I'm not that talented. I'm just average. It's not that serious. That's self-protection, not humility. High intelligence makes this worse, because smart people can rationalize anything. You can explain your delays. You can justify your distractions. You can build philosophical arguments for why you're resting. But beneath all of it, you know, you're delaying confrontation with your limits. Comfort addiction shows up subtly. Over-researching instead of starting. Planning instead of executing. Tweaking instead of finishing. Watching instead of doing. Talking instead of building. You feel busy, but you're not advancing. Motion without progress. Activity without expansion. That drains you, because your mind knows it's fake. Burnout comes after obsession. Have you been obsessed, or have you been half invested? Be honest. Half effort creates full frustration. You're tired because you're split. Part of you wants greatness, part of you wants ease. Ease keeps winning. There's a brutal shift that changes everything. Stop asking, how do I feel today? Start asking, what does the standard require? Emotion is unstable. Standards are stable. When your life is built on emotion, you collapse often. When it's built on standards, you move regardless. Comfort convinces you that intensity is unhealthy, that discipline is extreme, that obsession is toxic. No. Lack of purpose is toxic. Wasted ability is toxic. Watching your own potential decay? That's toxic. Intensity is clarity. Right now you're stuck in mental loops, thinking about change, analyzing change, imagining change, but not committing. Commitment eliminates options. And you love options, because options mean escape routes. Real growth removes exits. It locks you in and says, adapt or break. That pressure creates evolution. You don't need motivation. You need compression. Less choice. Less distraction. Less negotiation. More execution. More friction. More exposure. That's where identity shifts. Comfort is killing your edge. You feel it. That dullness. That slight dissatisfaction even on good days. A quiet voice saying, this isn't it. That voice isn't depression. It's suppressed ambition. It doesn't disappear. It waits. The longer you avoid it, the heavier it becomes. Not because you're weak, because you're aware. Ignorant people feel fine. Aware people feel tension. You feel tension because you see your ceiling, and you're not touching it. Yet, discipline doesn't feel natural at first. It feels violent. Because you're not fighting laziness. You're fighting identity. The current version of you is built on comfort patterns. Sleep when you want. Work when you feel like it. Escape when it's hard. That's an identity, and discipline threatens it. The first days of real execution feel wrong. Not because it's unhealthy, because it's unfamiliar. Your brain interprets unfamiliar as danger, so it sends resistance, doubt, fatigue, distraction, sudden cravings. It's not burnout, it's withdrawal. Withdrawal from comfort. You say you want growth. Growth requires constraint. Less freedom, more structure, fixed wake time, non-negotiable work block, no emotional voting. When you remove negotiation, you remove weakness. Here's the shift. Stop building motivation. Start building proof. Tiny daily proof. You said you'd wake up at 6? Do it. You said 1 hour focused work? Do it. No intensity required. Just obedience. Self-trust rebuilds through kept promises. And once self-trust increases, confidence stops being fake. You don't lack ability. You lack accumulated evidence. Evidence that you follow through. Every broken promise weakens identity. Every kept promise strengthens it. This isn't about grinding 12 hours. It's about eliminating inconsistency. Consistency creates internal pressure. Internal pressure creates growth. You keep waiting to become disciplined. That's backwards. You act disciplined. Then identity adjusts. Action rewrites self-image. Not affirmations. Not thinking. Not watching. Doing. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your environment is too soft. Too many exits. Too many comforts within arm's reach. Phone. Streaming. Instant dopamine. If growth is optional, comfort wins. So make growth mandatory. Remove access. Block distractions. Schedule like someone is watching. Even if no one is. Especially if no one is. You want to feel powerful? Keep one hard promise for 30 days. One. No matter what. That alone will shift you. Because you'll realize something dangerous. You were never burned out. You were undirected. Right now, mediocrity is comfortable for you. That's the real problem. Doesn't cost you enough. You can underperform and still eat, still sleep, still scroll, still laugh. There's no consequence, so your brain chooses the cheaper path. Effort costs energy. Avoidance costs nothing, until years pass. If you want to change fast, you don't increase motivation. You increase consequence. You make inaction expensive, because humans move faster away from pain, then toward pleasure. You don't need more inspiration. You need controlled pressure. Here's how you build it. First, remove soft landings. Stop giving yourself backup excuses. No, I'll restart Monday. No, next month will be different. No reset fantasies. Today counts. Every day counts. When you eliminate reset thinking, urgency appears. Second, track visible proof. Not thoughts, not intentions. Proof. Hours worked. Days completed.
Sessions finished. When progress is measurable, avoidance becomes visible. And when avoidance becomes visible, it becomes uncomfortable. That discomfort is good. It forces adjustment. Third, shrink the battlefield. You don't need 10 habits. You need one non-negotiable standard. One. Daily. No matter what. When that standard becomes automatic, add another. Stack slowly, but never miss. Missing weakens identity. Stacking strengthens it. You've been trying to change your feelings. Wrong target. Change your structure. Structure controls behavior.
Behavior shapes identity. Identity shapes emotion. Reverse the order. If your phone is the escape route, restrict it. If your room makes you lazy, redesign it. If your friends normalize mediocrity, limit exposure. Environment isn't an excuse. It's leverage. Use it. Here's something most people won't admit. They don't actually want elite results. They want elite validation. They want to be seen as capable, without enduring the isolation required to become capable. Becoming sharp is lonely, because most people are comfortable being dull. When you raise your standard, you silently separate yourself. That separation feels uncomfortable. So you lower yourself again. Stop doing that. Make average painful. How? Every time you skip your standard, remove something you enjoy. Every time you complete it, nothing happens. No reward. Discipline is the reward. You don't train your brain to expect treats. You train it to expect consistency. Right now, your life has too many options. Elite performance comes from reduction. Fewer goals, fewer distractions, fewer emotional decisions, more repetition. Repetition builds edge. Edge builds confidence. Confidence builds dominance. And here's the final shift. Stop identifying as someone trying to improve. That identity keeps you weak. Instead, you execute daily. That's it. No dramatic transformation arc. No announcement. Just silent upgrades. Silence builds power. You're not burned out. You're under-structured. You're under pressure. You're over-distracted. Fix those three, and watch what happens. Motivation is unstable. It spikes. It fades. It lies. If you rely on motivation, you'll always be inconsistent. Elite performers don't wake up inspired. They wake up committed. Big difference. Inspiration asks, do I feel ready? Commitment says, it's happening anyway. Right now, your productivity depends on emotion. Good mood, you work. Bad mood, you delay. Low energy, you escape. That's emotional slavery. You think you're free. You're not. Your feelings control your output. That's weakness. Not because feelings are bad, because they're unpredictable. The shift is simple. Detach action from emotion. You don't need to feel focused to work. You start working. Focus follows. You don't need to feel confident to execute. You execute. Confidence builds. Emotion is a byproduct, not a requirement. You've trained your brain to expect comfort before effort. Reverse it. Effort comes first. Comfort comes after. Even if the comfort is just satisfaction. Even if no one sees it. Especially if no one sees it. Let's be honest. You don't struggle with starting. You struggle with continuing when it gets boring. That's the real test. Intensity is easy for a day. Consistency is hard for months. And boredom kills more dreams than failure ever will. Because boredom makes you question everything. Is this worth it? Should I pivot? Maybe this isn't for me. No, you're just uncomfortable without stimulation. Stay. Push through the dull phase. That's where identity forms. Here's the mindset of someone who cannot be stopped. They expect resistance. They assume friction. They prepare for doubt. So when it shows up, It doesn't surprise them. You get derailed because you expect the path to feel smooth. It won't. Expect difficulty. Now it has less power over you. Control your internal dialogue, not with fake positivity, with command. Instead of, I don't feel like it. Say, doesn't matter. Short final control. Stop debating yourself. Every debate drains energy. Decide once. Execute daily. You want emotional control? Reduce overstimulation. Less scrolling. Less constant noise. Less cheap dopamine. When your baseline stimulation drops, discipline becomes easier. Right now, your brain is fried. Of course, focused work feels hard. You've conditioned yourself for speed, not depth. Rebuild depth. Sit with discomfort longer. Work longer without checking your phone. Think longer without escaping. That's mental strength. The person you want to become? They don't need applause. They don't need perfect conditions. They don't need hype. They operate quietly, repeatedly, relentlessly. Even when motivation is zero, especially when motivation is zero, you're not burned out. You're undirected, undisciplined, overstimulated. But that's fixable. Starting today, not next week, not when you feel better. Today, one standard, one action, no negotiation. Fast forward 5 years, nothing dramatic happened. You didn't fail publicly. You didn't collapse. You didn't lose everything. You just stayed the same. Same habits, same excuses, same half-finished plans. That's the real nightmare, not failure, stagnation. People fear losing. They should fear wasting, because wasted potential doesn't scream. It whispers. Every time you scroll instead of build, every time you delay instead of execute, every time you say, tomorrow, you are voting for the weaker version of yourself. And votes compound. You won't feel the damage today. That's why it's dangerous. Comfort now, regret later. And regret is heavy, not because you failed, but because you knew. You knew you could have done more. That hits differently at 30, at 40, at 50. Nobody is coming to unlock you. No mentor is magically appearing. No perfect opportunity is forming in secret. You either build edge now, or you slowly become average. An average doesn't hurt instantly. It erodes you quietly. Here's the identity shift that makes relapse almost impossible. Stop asking, how do I stay motivated? Start asking, what does someone of my standard do today? Standards remove negotiation. If your standard is, I train daily. No more emotional decision. Your standard is, I execute my work block. Then you execute. No drama. No overthinking. Just alignment. You don't rise to goals. You fall to standards. So raise them. Not publicly, internally, silently, dangerously. One more truth. You are not tired. You are under-challenged. You are not unlucky. You are under-committed. You are not stuck. You are under-disciplined. Fix those. Everything shifts. This is the line you remember. Nobody is stopping you, but you are. And once you remove that obstacle, it gets quiet. Because execution is quiet. Growth is quiet. Power is quiet. From this point forward, no more emotional voting. No more restart fantasies. No more waiting to feel ready. You operate. Daily. Even when it's boring. Even when it's slow. Even when nobody notices. Especially then. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about eliminating the weak patterns that were never supposed to stay. And if this series hit you, don't comment motivation. Don't save it for later. Pick one standard. Start today. Silently. Now.